Welcome to DIY is my happy place. I'm Amy and today is going to be a fabulous day. We are going to be talking about solar lights. A year ago, I posted my top 10 favorite solar lights that I've made DIY. I take a solar light from the Dollar Tree and I jazz it up to look a lot better and create some fun creative ideas. It has now been a year since I did those, and half of them I kept out throughout the entire year. Some of them I brought in after the summer was over because they were kind of summer decor. But I will say, after a year of those solar lights being outside, they're still working great. So who says you need to spend a lot of money on solar lights? I don't think you do. I have some fun new ways to jazz up solar lights. We're gonna go another notch. So if you want to see how to jazz up some solar lights, let's have some fun. Okay, so let me tell you what we're gonna start with today. I ordered some, they're called Solar Fairy string lights that I ordered off of Amazon. They come 2 to a package, and I love these because they can make the most fantastic solar lights. Now, I like to make them look like they're coming out of a watering can. So it looks like it's being poured, and the solar lights will come out right here and dangle down. And so in the nighttime, you can see the watering can a little bit and it looks like water is trickling out. I love it. So you can use any type of watering can that you can get your hands on, or what styles you like. And the thing that I love about this is one that's similar, but I just painted it white, spray painted it white. I'm gonna show you how to do it. But the thing I love about this, it looks so great in your yard, but it also makes great gifts. Do you have that person in your life, you just don't know what to get them? And they seem to have everything. They have a beautiful yard. This is another one. So you just get one of the hooks, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you can get those at the dollar store too, to hook your watering can. Whatever watering can you can get your hands on, we can make it work. So stick with me. Let me show you what we're gonna do. Creating solar watering cans that look like there's water dripping out of the can using solar lights is such a phenomenal idea. I just love it so much. And it's so fast and easy, and it makes such a great fun craft to do in a real quick hurry. So the first thing, luckily this package comes with 2 different ones. So the first thing you do is just unwind all the cords, and they actually have little tiny angel lights on them, and then they are metal, so they can be bent into different shapes. So the first thing you do is unwind it, and you don't want it to get knotted up because we're going to be fishing this through the end of our watering can. Now, in order for it to be able to get the sunlight, it needs to be able to have the solar panel on the top, and you want the solar panel facing the direction of the sun. So keep that in mind whenever you place it outside. Now, we need to get our watering can, put a few holes in it so that water can drip out, because there will be moisture that can get in there and water that can get in there. So the first thing we're going to do is just get a medium-sized drill bit. Any size will do. I like the medium size because they're easy to work with, but big enough for water to drip out. And then we're going to just drill some holes in the bottom of our watering can so that the real water can drip out and our artificial water, meaning our lights, can be our main focus of this. So I just put a few holes, maybe, I don't know, 6 holes. And again, just so we can let it have the water drip out if it gets rained on. Now the top is going to have the solar panel, and there's just some space on the sides. And rather than, the solar light itself is waterproof, and the light strings and everything. So but you just don't want it just ponding in there, and then it'll get mosquitoes or who knows what'll try to live in our watering can if water's down in there. So that's why we're going to go ahead and get the can with a bunch of holes in it. And then it's really easy to do. You know, I don't even have the real sharp drill bit, so you just kind of stay in the same place until it pops through. And then once you have your holes, you only need them in the one end because it's going to be hanging on a hook and tipping to the side. So what we're going to do, I always say we because I think of you, the viewer, and me working together. So that's why I always say we. But what we're going to do is we're going to thread the very end from the inside and push it up. And again, this is wire, so it'll push up a lot easier than a piece of thread or yarn or something like that would. So once you get it through, you just fish it all the way through, and you have to kind of take it easy because you don't want it to hit any sharp edge. Once you get it all the way through, then you'll see the plastic end with the cord. And then once you get to that point, go ahead and push it back in. Now you know where the end is. We don't want to miss out on any of our fun lights. Okay, and now we're going to get all of our cord put in, and you want to figure out which direction you're going to have your solar panel. Now you do need to have the panel so that it has some opening, and here's why. This particular type of solar light has an on-off button, and it also has a button that you can make the lights blink slowly. Maybe they just stay on all the time, or maybe they blink fast. Okay, now how we're going to insert this is we're going to use two different types of glue. We're going to use E6000, and I have the same tube that I've been using for a lot of things, and then we're going to use a hot glue as well, just to hold it in place until that E6000 really dries, which takes 12 to 24 hours before it's completely set. Now I love these rubber mats that you can get at the Dollar Tree for hot pads, and the thing that I love about them is nothing will stick to it. So I like to keep them underneath wherever I'm going to be using glue so that it doesn't get on my table or whatever I'm on. Now what I'm going to do is put some glue on everywhere where it touches my can. Now you can see there's still some holes on the side where I can slip my finger up in and be able to hit these little buttons, and they're just little push rubber buttons that will be able to turn it off and on and change the speed of the lights. So I get my E6000 so it's on every single corner, and once it's on every single corner, I can put some hot glue to hold it in place. Now, as far as my lights go, I just want them to be kind of bundled up. They don't have to have any rhyme or reason. I'm going about the length from the end of my fingers to the end of my elbow. That's my measurement. And I'm just going to go ahead and go back and forth until I get the whole string of lights. And this is a very long string. And once they're all bundled together, then I'm going to take the little tie that came with them and tie them back together so that this will look like it's just a random bunch of little streams of water. So once I tie that together, I will be able to put that back up into the watering can to hide that tie and hide where it's all bunched, and then it can have the illusion of water coming out. Now I don't want this to pop out of there, so I'm going to use my hot glue, just a little dab, and you don't want to do a lot because I don't want to melt our wires. I mean, the wires themselves, as I said, are metal, but the cordage is rubber. So I'm just doing a little drop there, and then I'll also add some E6000 so that those will be firm, and if animals come along and want to see what's going on, or children or whatever, it's not going to pop out. So I have been using this same tube, and it's got a little bit of glue all around. I have to kind of use pliers to get it open, but there's still glue in there, and I don't waste anything. So I'm putting that on to give it a nice firm foundation, and anywhere where you feel like it's not shored up, go ahead and give a little more E6000, and that could possibly be it. I love it so much. But as I do, I like to add a little bit of glam to my watering can. Now, again, this could be just perfect. Now, I love the Gorilla glue gun and the Gorilla sticks. I like to get the really strong glue. I don't use it for all my crafts, but for things like this, I like to get the stronger glue to put my embellishments on, and I will follow up with some E6000 too. But for the bedazzled glue stickers, I'm just going to use the Gorilla glue, and these are so thin and lightweight that the Gorilla glue will be plenty for this particular thing. I only need E6000 for things that are stronger, heavier, bigger. So the Gorilla glue will work just fine. And look at this. Now my handle is jazzed up a bit, and it, again, just takes a couple of minutes to give it a little extra flair. I picked up these from the Dollar Tree. And I always, whenever I'm in there, I always grab a few extra of it's in the Crafter's Corner section, and actually I think it's meant for scrapbooking, but I love using them. They have adhesive on them, so if you were gluing them to paper, they wouldn't need anything else. But because we're gluing them to metal, and it's going to be an outdoor thing, definitely want to add extra glue, because that little sticker glue won't hold it up. Now I have some of the gems that you might use in the bottom of a fishbowl, or maybe with some flower arrangements, but I like to use them for another added little bit of glam to my watering can, and I'm going to put it on the outer edges of the solar light as well, to just help distract from the blackness of the solar light and to give it a little something to sparkle on when the lights are shining on it. And again, I'm using my Gorilla glue. It's much stronger than a regular hot glue. And then for these, when they're on the sides like this, I will go back with some E6000 just to shore it up and make sure that it doesn't try going anywhere. Because I want this to hold up. I like it when the solar lights will hold up for at least a year. And I will say, I'll put a link of my other solar lights to show you, and I'm amazed, but they really have. They've held up for over a year, and there's nothing better than getting your money's worth. So I'm basically putting some little gems wherever there seems to be holes, although I am, like I said, leaving a little spot for me to be able to turn it on and off. Voila, there we have it. See how it's just all kind of squiggly and whatever? So it looks like it's just a splash. Now, let's talk about one other type of solar lights. These I have never seen until this year at the Dollar Tree, and they're actually pretty cool looking all by themselves. But since we're in the business of jazzing things up and taking it up another notch, I'm going to use some marbles. And these are just clear marbles, and I think that would be really fun and to help give it a little bit more dimension and reflection. So, doing the same exact thing as before, I'm going to use my Gorilla hot glue and glue these on, and that will not be enough to hold them into place, but it's enough to hold them into place long enough for me to get them staged where I want them, and then I'll put the more strong glue. And I know that the Dollar Tree at times has E6000, although I haven't seen it for a while. So you can get it at Walmart, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it at any of the tool stores, big box stores or any of those. And you can use other types of super glue, but I like E6000 because it doesn't run like a liquid super glue. It's actually a jelly kind of consistency, so it holds in place. And also for the money, I feel like it's the best buy for the money. Now, this is the perfect time when it would be ideal to put the rubber mat underneath, and I will for sure before I let it dry, because I don't want it to have any glue that drips down and then glues it to my table. So put it under a rubber mat for that E6000 to completely dry so that it's not dripping down. And once it's dry, this will really hold together. Now, the one thing that I did find was sometimes the solar light will try to come off of the stick. So I go ahead and add some glue to those so that it can be shored up. I literally had solar lights that were in 2 feet of snow, and after the snow melted, they showed themselves again, and they still worked. It's amazing. They're the best. You don't have to think about turning the lights on. They just turn on for you. It doesn't cost you anything once you get them going because you don't have to put in new batteries. They do, however, need to be able to have some sunlight. If they're in a shady area, they won't have as much light. So just make sure that you put them somewhere where they can get a good 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight. See, it's fast, it's easy, it's great. Anybody can do it, and so can you. So please like, subscribe, and share this out because I put up new content every single week. And thank you so much to all my subscribers, and I'll see you again soon. See ya.